Hey G fans, GoGFan93 here, and welcome to the second to last King of Kaiju post-commentary video series. We are almost done, guys. Oh my god. And we are showing off Godzilla 2014. Now, it kind of sucks with Godzilla 2014. They brought him down to size to match up with the other monsters. Not like in the PS3 version where he was big throughout the whole thing, and it was kind of funny, but now they kind of nerfed him in a way. Only for King of Kaiju mode, though. When you play Invasion, he's already 100 meters, so all you gotta do is upgrade his the power meter thing for him. But yeah, so Godzilla 2014. What can I say? He's fun to play as. It's great to play a Godzilla game where the new Godzilla gets a place in a 3D game already. I love that. It's really cool that Godzilla 2014 got a game like this, and not that shitty Smash 3 game that we will not be talking about. Yeah, so he's great though. He's fast. That's one thing that's really interesting about Godzilla 2014 is he's actually really quick when he moves. His attacks are very ferocious, very heavy. He deals a lot of damage, and his special attack is really cool too. His special attack, he just does that tail. Well, as you can see right there, it does a lot of damage. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, Godzilla 2014 is just a beast in this game, and when you're 100 meters, he literally just kills everything on screen. So he's definitely a high tier monster, I would definitely say. I mean, look at how easily I'm able to dispatch Hedorah. Boom, already taken out. Hedorah is already gone, and yeah, so that was, that's pretty good. What else can I say? I mean, I don't know. He's the model, I would say, probably based off of the SH Monster Arts figure, but it's also kind of its own in a way too. 2014, he does look like what he does in the movie, but there are some differences. Like his eyes, I think they purposely made his eyes a bit bigger. That was actually one of the things I wasn't a big fan of with the design of Godzilla 2014 was his eyes. His eyes were really small. Like really small to where you could barely see them. So I kind of liked how in this game they kind of expanded. They made his eyes a bit bigger so that it kind of had that feel of the Japanese Godzilla. Where Godzilla just had big eyes and whatever, so you can have a lot of character with that. But the 2014 guy had really small eyes, and when I got my X Plus figure of him, I definitely could see like how small his eyes really are because I was able to get a good look at the at the figure. So it's probably hard to base a character model like this off of a CGI Godzilla when other Godzillas have the suits and all these different scans of them, and it's probably easier to get a more accurate thing of him than it is with the 2014 suit, although not really a suit, more of a CGI model. But then again, on the other hand, it might actually be easier because Godzilla's already a CGI model, so they could probably just import some files or whatever to make him more like the actual character in the movie. But it's alright, it works. It's cool. Nothing against it. It's a really good looking Godzilla, and it is Godzilla. Like it's the American Godzilla, so I'm perfectly good with it, and I love the design. And he plays well in the game too. He plays really well. I'm so happy that he's not a cloned character to the Japanese Godzilla. I'm so happy about that, because if they would have done that, I mean, they could have easily done that, because ultimately he is Godzilla. So they could have just had him have the same moves as the Japanese Godzilla, but no, they did give him moves that fit this character, that fit the American Godzilla. They make him more animalistic. They make him more ferocious. As you can see, his charge attack, he just goes in, with his head just swinging around and just going full force with it. It's really awesome. He doesn't have the pulse attack, like when you do your special, he just does the tail spin. He doesn't have the pulse come out of him because he's that more grounded Godzilla. He doesn't have as many abilities as the Japanese Godzilla, but what he makes up for is just the sheer brutality of this Godzilla. So he's definitely a more brutal Godzilla than the Japanese one for sure, which I would love to see, like him fight GMK, because the GMK Godzilla is probably the closest the most brutal Japanese Godzilla you can get. I mean, he was just, I mean, man, just love that Godzilla. But yeah, I mean, say what you will about the movie, whether you liked the movie or didn't like 2014, Godzilla is pretty cool to see in this game, and the roars are, well, that's something I loved about this. In the movie, we got to hear his roar, the basic roar where it's just that, long, prolonged, kind of whatever. I'm not going to really recreate it, but in this game they have that, but they also have like his little grunts and his little, like the little sound effects that you don't really hear in the movie, and it's really cool to finally hear all the different little like sound clips that the 2014 Godzilla actually had. It's really cool to hear him. I love hearing the Godzilla roar, like when he does his grunts, when he gets pushed back. It's like this cool little like kind of like sound. I don't really know how to like reenact the sound, but it's cool. I really do appreciate Bandai Namco doing all the little extra sounds for him. So, and we're already fighting Godzilla Heisei. So here so let's see if I'm fighting him. Okay, yeah, so we're on the second to last mission here. So yeah, when you're Godzilla 2014 fighting against the Japanese Godzilla, you definitely, the 2014 guy is, I mean, even when they're on the same scale, 2014 is still bigger. He's still taller than the Japanese Godzilla. So it's just pretty funny. And it's cool. I mean, you can just see, like, just look at them both. Just look at them. You can tell that, obviously the American Godzilla is more grounded, more realistic, has a more realistic look to him than the Japanese one. And that's what I love. I love how we can get different versions of Godzilla like this. I love how we can get a very realistic version, and I love how we can get our campy, fun, awesome, cheesy Japanese version, I mean, obviously I'll always go with the Japanese version just because I grew up with that more, but the American version still looks great, and it's great to have these two fight against each other in this game. I mean, this is the first game that actually gave us the ability to have these two face off, and it's so cool. Basically, the Heisei Godzilla representing the Japanese Godzilla, because when honestly, the Heisei Godzilla look, especially the 89, 91 look, that is like, that's the face of Godzilla, ultimately. I mean, the 1954, yes, and also maybe the Millennium, like with Godzilla 2000, but when it really comes down to it, 9 times out of 10, that Heisei look, that is Godzilla. Like, that is the look for that character. So now we're going to be fighting the Burning Godzilla version, which obviously they've had this fight's actually in the campaign. So like, you play as the Japanese Godzilla, you get to 100 meters, you get to fight 2014. Although when you play as 2014 and you get to 100 in power, in power percentage or whatever, then you get to fight Burning Godzilla. So it's kind of like this. So it's kind of just a classic rivalry that they have, and I think it's such a cool overall theme with this game, how they have that theme of Godzilla 2014 fighting Japanese Godzilla. I love it. It's a really cool theme. I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. There's really nothing else I can say about Godzilla 2014 in this game. Otherwise, he's just pretty cool. And Burning Godzilla's being cheap. He just keeps on spamming his breath at me. So I'm just going to return the favor. I'm just going to keep on spamming my breath. It's like, I don't care. I'll go full-on force with my breath. And I really do like the way Godzilla's breath looks, too. Or the 2014 breath is pretty cool. His breath is definitely more of a napalm-ish style, like a flamethrower, rather than like a full-on beam. So once again, having that more realistic look towards it. But yeah, that's it for Godzilla 2014 with King of Kaiju. So next up will be the final Godzilla, and that'll be it for this series. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the last one. Stay big, G fans.